Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the second stream of the day from Double Barrel Gaming. Of course, I am your host for today's ID at Xbox special event, MrBooMStickXL, and we just had one hell of a breakfast with Boom for a lot of reasons. First of all, the mammoth amount of support that popped through with everyone, and I mean literally everyone, upgrading their current memberships of Double Barrel Gaming to the second tier of Double Barrel Gaming Plus. I cannot thank you enough for the generosity. It's just mind blowing, to be honest, humbling beyond words, and I truly do mean that. Live on the air, Slow Mo Backslap crossed 1,000 subs, folks. That's a big deal, and I am glad to have participated in getting that done. Of course, we are here and we are minutes away from, of course, the ID at Xbox stream, which you're going to be able to watch live. I'm going to blow up the screen momentarily so we can watch it better. You're going to be able to hear our voices reacting to what's happening, as well as the Twitch screen for you to watch. And of course, we're going to now this what's weird is if you look at the schedule, it says it's 4 hours. Well, we're not doing a 4-hour podcast, folks. You're probably going to get us for 60 to 90 minutes, and then we're going to back out of the Twitch stream, and then we're going to start talking about what was displayed for us. We don't know what to expect, but I know that we're going to see some big games, some new trailers, 25 games with gameplay, and over 100 games to be displayed in one way, in one thriller wheel or another. But let's get into the introductions before the show starts. We're going to start with Archimedes. Welcome to the program, dude.
Me, man. I'm super excited. The first gaming event of the year from Xbox. Even though it's indies, I'm super excited because we know that a lot of good stuff will be in there. The Ascent will be there. Second Extinction will be there. A couple of others I'm looking forward to. I can't wait.
Yes, yeah, me too. I'm very excited. For what I mean, there are two that jump off the plate. The Ascent, which of course you might have doused poor Mav's dreams and Pong Soul's dreams of this game being released today, because I would love for it. I mean, I'm expecting a couple of. Hold on a sec. Wait a second. We got something starting here.
14.
Okay, why don't I see anything? All right. Give me a moment to get this thing started. Let me figure out what the heck is going on with Xbox and find out.
Carnage in chat was asking if this.
All right, listen, just bear with us. This is the first time I'm doing this. Xbox usually does it on YouTube, where it's easy just to start the screen and keep going. They're doing it through Twitch exclusively, and we will start the show momentarily. Here it is. 1 minute, 33 seconds, folks. We're going to get to this. Okay, so we're good. We're good. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can hear the screen in the background as well. I'm going to lower that just a little bit so you guys can hear me. Let's continue with the introductions. Pong Soul, welcome to the program, brother. How you feeling?
Good morning, Boom. Feeling great, man. It's Friday. We got a nice big show here, man. Like Archimedes was just saying, looking forward to a bunch of the games. Indie games have come along, come so far since the old days that we're going to see some really cool things in this showcase and what's coming down the road. And we've got so much coming down the road that I'm excited. Like Archimedes said, the Ascent, Second Extinction, 12 minutes. I mean, the list goes on and on. We might get some Tunic information finally. All this kind of stuff. I'm here. I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's do this.
Yeah, me too. And thanks so much for being here. Mav, welcome to the program. First of all, got to congratulate you. 500 plus subscribers. And we're going to get you to 1,000. If I got to carry you on my back, congratulations.
You have been, man. You've been shouting us out. I appreciate that. I was watching your show yesterday, and you gave us a huge shout out again. Thank you so much for all of that, dude. It's definitely means a lot. And thank you for the congrats on 500. It's slow progress for us, but we've been excited just to keep it going and have lots of cool people tune in and then keep coming back, right? So that's what it's all about. So, dude, this is gonna be awesome. So many freaking
going
Cool
on,
games.
everyone?
All right, I'm
Welcome
gonna
into the
shush.
ID
No, that's all right, dude.
Xbox
Listen, we'll get to
Showcase right here on
we'll blow this up in
Twitch
a second.
TV.
First of
Now,
all,
I am one of
Elusive
your
Gamer,
co-hosts
Jamie
today,
Moran,
Story
welcome to the
Mosaic, and
program.
I have the honor of
Hey
being
man, happy
joined
to
by
be
the
here. I'm just looking forward to see more on games to know about. So like 12 minutes, the sense, second extinction, the gunk. The list goes on. But yeah, let's get into
How are
it.
you doing today?
Yeah, well, thanks so much for being here, folks. And here it is. The show is starting, and we're hopefully going to be getting some big reveals in the chat. Let us know what you're most anticipating. What's your biggest and most expected game? Real quick, a $10 super chat comes in from a good friend of the show. You rules Grizz. Well, you ruled Grizz. Thanks so much, Grizz, for being here. He drops an outstanding $10 super chat and says, "Hey, Boom and panel. I hope everyone is having a good day. Last 12 to 24 hours have been rough. Yes, his dog passed away last night. Dude, my condolences, brother. That's like losing somebody in the family. I'm hoping we can lift your spirits today. Thank you for being here. And of course, again, our condolences to your part of your family. Because, pets are family members, bro. So, yeah, hopefully we could lift those spirits.
We're going to be dropping exclusive new game trailers as well. So if you're an indie games fan, this is the place to be.
Yes, and I'm an indie games fan. I know Archimedes is. Hey, you know what's crazy, guys? I don't know if you were watching the other stream. The developer of Song of Iron was in the chat. Like, wow. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's one I think a lot of us are excited for.
Joe is amazing.
Joe is
wait to
yeah. Song of Iron looks like it's going to be on a lot of people's lists. Well, you had a chat. I talked about you on the show, Archimedes. You had a chance to take a look at it.
Yeah, it's a really cool game. I had a chance to play an early build end of last year. The game is really done so well. If you like a game like Inside, I got a lot of Inside vibes, yeah, but a little bit more action packed, of course. This is the game for you. So I can't wait to see more, hopefully today.
Before we do get started with our show, I do want to remind everyone at home, please sound off in the chat. We want to know what you guys think. I mean, I already see the chat moving and shaking as it is. I am super excited about this. So without further ado, I want to remind everyone throughout today's ID at Xbox, at Twitch Gaming Indie Game Showcase, we will be airing exclusive new game trailers for the very first time.
Yeah, I'm
Some will
super
feature
stoked for
gameplay updates
this.
to highly anticipated indie titles. Others will be brand new, never before seen game trailers.
Love it.
But that's not all we have. So make sure you stay tuned throughout the show and share your reactions in the Twitch chat. So everyone, let's go ahead and get into it. First up, we're dropping some new gameplay trailers. Let's take a look.
Yes, this is what we're talking about, folks. Let's go.
Right. Let's go. It's good stuff.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited for this.
Exo Mecha.
Yes.
Nice.
My God, this looks so good.
It's
Starting
like
out hot.
Crisis had a baby with Halo.
I definitely get. Yeah, I definitely get. Yeah, this is definitely Transformers meets the Halo or even Titanfall. This is wow, dude. Crisis, you can even throw in here.
Far Cry a little bit.
Yeah. I just love the chrome look of everything.
Yeah.
God, it's so cool.
It reminds me of a warthog.
Look,
doesn't
they
it?
just shot somebody under the water. You could go underwater and shoot people. How dope is that? He just put a bomb on him, and oh wow. Okay,
Is this
This
gonna
is
be like a
free to
full
play.
price game? Or
No, this is free to play.
free to play, dude.
free to
Free
play.
to play.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, I think we might be spending some time in this one.
Look at that ray tracing.
Look at the particle effects, though. The particle
Yeah,
effects
no
are
kidding.
crazy.
Okay.
Wow.
Maybe we'll get a date.
Let me see if
Dude.
I can make this even fuller screen.
Look at that spider tank. Holy cow. God, it looks amazing.
Full screen layout. Here we go. Okay. And then
After this, no one can claim that indie games cannot look good.
Right?
this looks like a game that's gonna have a lot of legs on. Oh wow.
Oh my gosh, what was that?
What?
It was like a freaking looked like a Voltron lion or something.
Yeah, I'll take this over Fortnite any day.
Yeah,
Wow,
thank you, Jamie.
bro.
What I'm still wondering is, do we get to control the mechs, or are they like AI that we get to call in? That's what I'm curious
That's a good question, dude. That's a fantastic question.
Is it only multiplayer, or is it also some sort of co-op or single-player experience?
It's coming out. Okay, so this is what we want. We got a date, August 2021. This. Here we go, folks.
Man, they're starting out on fire.
Yep.
Balance the audio. Okay, well, let me see if I can do that. Hold on just a second. Okay. I'm going to put the audio up. There we go. Audio is all the way up, folks. I know people in the chat are... turn the sound up a bit on the video end. Yeah, Dizzy, I got you, brother. I got you.
God, this game looks so good. Oh, I cannot wait.
Loot.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They just nailed the cyberpunk atmosphere.
Dude, this game looks like it's going to be why I think this is going to succeed. Why I think Exo Mecha is going to succeed is because Xbox is the multiplayer box.
Yep.
And I love that these are exclusives for this platform.
Oh man, look at that 2D.
Well, I'm gonna play that solo, probably.
I'm probably going to play it solo as well because I love solo games, but I'm definitely going to try and get down with my brother, Neo Mental, who's in the chat.
Pong?
Yeah.
Wait, we're not playing this solo, man.
No, we're not playing that solo. I feel a lot of streaming coming on. Wow. What's this?
Oh, a nice platform. I love platformers, so I'm definitely going to start. I'm going to try this out for sure. A lot of people in the chat are wondering about. Okay, the sound is better now. Okay, good. Thank you, Dizzy. Definitely appreciate that. I had it lowered so you can hear our voices, but you want to hear this. And again, I don't know how many people we're going to get. We're still under 300. People want to watch this unabated, and I understand that. But stick around or jump back in later on when this is over. We're gonna spend at least 45 minutes talking about what we saw, what our favorite games are. So, guys, make sure you write down, on a piece of paper what you want to talk about. We'll definitely get to it when we, back out of this and we start talking as a panel.
That looks pretty cool.
Was it Anno?
Anno, yeah, that's what it looks like.
Wow, 2021 as well. God.
Oh, hello.
Guys, did I miss it? Did we get a date for the Ascent?
No, we didn't. I was just going to ask that.
Yes,
too.
it was today. No.
Yeah. Nope, it still said just 2021. Killing me.
A liner in the chat asks, are most of these coming to Game Pass? As a matter of fact, dude, I think all of these games that you're going to see here are coming to Xbox Game Pass. I mean, don't quote me on it. I might, but I'm pretty sure that a good majority are going directly into Game Pass.
Exo Mecha and the Ascent are.
Yes.
Sure. This looks cool.
Wow.
Is this Double Fine?
I don't know.
It looks like Double Fine, doesn't it?
It does look like Double Fine for sure.
The art direction looks
Wild at heart.
Yeah, that's
wow. No, Humble
Games. They did God, I can't think of the name of it now.
Hype Train Digital. I like that.
Model Trains?
Oh, I've seen this. It looks really interesting.
Huh. Wow. Looked like a Stargate there.
This is a little odd for sure. That's a great thing about these indie titles. Maybe not every game is for every gamer, but someone's gonna appreciate this.
Yeah, sci-fi model trains. Okay. Oh, with first-person
guns.
What? first-person shooter on model trains. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
He's shooting
That's
a
a flying shark.
Yeah.
By the way.
I told you this
Okay.
game looks interesting.
Yeah, they've definitely got me. They've got my interest.
And now it's an Old West shooter with aliens.
So you've got to build trains to go to other dimensions. What the? The shark was just attacking the train. This is Jaws with model trains. Okay, with flying space sharks. Sweet.
And you could fly, by the way.
Oh,
Void
Void
train.
Okay. All right.
All right, Void Train. I see what you're doing there. Void Train looks really cool. That last one.
I don't know what they're doing there.
You may see it, but you don't understand it. I can tell you that much.
Kind of vibe from that. Brianna, were there any of those trailers that particularly jumped out at you?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of looking at, I think it was called Wild at Heart. It almost reminded me of Don't Starve a little bit. It looks like you're trapped in the forest, maybe with a friend. I'm very excited. I mean, Xbox came out of the gate swinging with this showcase. I am beyond excited to see what's next up.
Oh yeah, I the first one that they showed, that Exo Mecha game, I saw some people in chat were like, "Is this like a mech battle Titanfall-esque thing?" I mean, the cool news is that a lot of these trailers that we just saw, if not all of them, I might be mistaken on this, but a lot of them said coming 2021. So those are games we can expect this year. Like I said, I'm a big fan of indie games. I'm a big fan of the ID at Xbox program, which we'll get into a little bit later about how the specifics of the program work. But bringing all these indie games to light is what it's all about.
Yep.
So Omni, we got to see a trailer for, and I've gotten to play a very early build of that, and it is so adorable. So we've got a lot of fun stuff coming up, and a lot of fun stuff here that we've seen already. It's been awesome. Brianna, do you play a lot of indie games on your Twitch channel?
I do. I kind of switch off. I mean, my favorite thing about indie games, honestly, is the art style. I am such a sucker for not only good graphics, but just visually appeasing games. And I feel like with indie games, you get so much of that. And also, by the way, I do want to remind the Twitch chat at home, please sound off. What game did you see from that last trailer are you excited about? I would love to hear it. And you never know, your comment can end up right here on the big screen.
Yes, I see Burnt Toast TJ or Burnt Toast J in chat says, so great to see such wonderful support for indies. Yes, 100% yes. So yeah, that was Exo Mecho. I believe Ascent was the name of the second one. Omni, the Wild at Heart, and Void Train there at the end. Really, really cool.
Oh yes, I am excited. Oh, I love that we're able to see this again.
Here was Exo Mecha, I believe is what this one was called again. And this is the one that some people were comparing to Titanfall. I don't know.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Give me some Titanfall action.
Circular light design in the center of their chest, and I was like, Pacific Rim. Now, not all of them have that, but this is reminding me of every great mech battle that I know. And look at that, we have underwater. I think I saw a grapple.
Big shout out to my brother Neo Mental, who actually just sent me a picture. Folks, listen, I'm only been doing YouTube 3 years.
See,
I've never done a live
funny
stream
when I play
on a
games.
live
I'm
stream,
not a huge
so this is
fan
new.
of first-person shooter
Hopefully,
type
you can
games.
now see
However,
the full
graphics are
screen.
Very,
Again,
very
listen, I'm a
nice.
50-year-old
and it
dude. You
looks
know what I'm
like
saying?
it's
I'm doing
action-packed.
YouTube where it's a
There's
young
so
man's
much
game.
going
I
on,
figured
like
it
you said,
out.
you're able
So
to go
hopefully you're gonna
underwater. It looks like you were shooting out a helicopter in the last clip that we saw.
stick with us.
pretty good. I might
With
have to give it a
350 people
try.
here. Thank you so much for hanging out with us
I love the
and
folks
enjoying
in chat
this.
right now that are so hyped for the Among Us segments coming up that they're just saying,
Oh,
okay,
dude,
well,
I am
it's
so
sus.
playing this. I
Trailer
want to
looks
drive
so
that spider
sus.
tank.
I
PS,
get
by
it,
the way.
I get it.
Yep.
But yeah, that was just one of the, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trailers already shown. And like we said, we've got a
Shout out to
bunch
Neo
of
Mental with a
today, so
$5
lots
super
and
chat.
lots
That's
of
my
trailers
brother.
coming up. I thought
On the
Exo
job
Mecha
training.
looked super, super cool. That cyberpunk
Router
one,
Van Putten. Thanks for the support. He
that's
says you're
right.
doing great, Boom.
that
Thanks, brother. I
cyberpunk one
appreciate
felt
it.
very, like, Shadowrun-esque to me in a good way. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I played through Cyberpunk 2077 and it didn't quite scratch the Cyberpunk itch in the way that I was hoping for. So maybe this game
Okay, she's canceled.
baby.
Okay.
That's funny. You know what? I think you're going to cancel me. I have it still in the wrapper.
You would traditionally stream.
No, that's okay, Boom.
Yeah, I would kind of look
said
more
it
I'm
didn't
waiting
scratch
for the
it.
next gen upgrade.
I know you are. A lot of people are.
Something that captivated me and caught my eye as soon as I saw it. So I am very excited. And I like that you said that about that cyberpunk feel, because, you know, some people are kind of looking for something in that genre if cyberpunk didn't exactly do it for them. So I'm excited about these. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see. Mundane in chat says, Mundane Salad says Shadowrun is greater than Cyberpunk. You know what? You said it, not me.
Well, I'm
but
definitely
I know
starting to
spicy.
see why they scheduled 4 hours.
Very spicy, very spicy. On there today.
Oh, man.
So, folks, like I said, that was just a snippet of some of the fun that we have for you today. But let's bring in our first guest. So, our first guest on today's show is the Senior Director of the ID at Xbox program, which has been helping independent developers self-publish their games on Microsoft's Xbox consoles for the last 7
Chris
years.
Charla.
And
Let's
if you're
hear
wondering
it.
what types of games ID at Xbox are working on right now that will be coming soon to a console near you, well, here's a sneak peek.
Oh, nice. That's that developer. I think. Oh man. I think the Iron Lords had him on. I forget his name.
You know, that game reminds me of
that runner.
virtual boy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
that
red
one does.
screens.
Okay. What is that one? That one looked cool.
Oh, this is that little witch one. I think. That was
Witch in the
cool.
Woods, I think it's
Oh,
cool.
Night Squad.
Yeah, Witch
Night
in the
Squad
Woods from
is
the South
cool.
Korean developer, I think.
That looks fun.
Yeah.
What I love about the indie scene is that it does grab people's attention from kids all the way up to adults. You know what I'm
Something
saying? Like
for
a
everyone.
50-year-old guy like myself might find something more interesting than a 20-year-old, right? But then we might have the same opinion on something else. That's what I love the indie scene about. That reminds me of that PlayStation game with that flop around all over the place.
Yep.
Ooh. With like Tower Defense RTS vibes.
Yep.
Yes.
around this
Oh,
thing?
that looked really good.
This
Yeah,
looks
that
really
looked dope. If somebody likes dogs.
Ooh, up asteroids. The old asteroids feel. Wow. You driving a mail truck? Okay. All right.
Mail
Yeah,
simulator.
you're actually a mail carrier in
Yeah.
that particular game.
Yeah. Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, I'm always down for card battle.
That looks kind of that
Yeah.
actually looks pretty good.
I like the art style.
Yep.
I mean, with this pacing, we are through our 100 games. Really.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
Oh,
That
Yeah.
looks good.
That actually does look good. I think that's Dark something.
Yeah, Dark Alliance.
Yes.
That's with from one of my favorite authors, R.A. Salvatore.
Chris, thank you so much for joining us. How are you feeling today?
Good, thanks. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we like Chris
Of course,
Charla.
of
He's a
course.
good
Now,
dude.
for everyone at home watching that aren't already familiar with the ID at Xbox program, Can you explain a little bit about how that works?
Yeah, sure. So basically, we're a program at Microsoft that enables independent developers to self-publish their games. So they come to xbox.com/ID, they sign up, they tell us what kind of game they're making, and we send them dev kits. They start development, they make the game, and then we
Tempest Sun must be rolling over right now that Chris Charla is a Gundam fan.
And then the games come out.
Yeah, I just noticed that. That's awesome.
It is awesome. I personally love indie games, and I think we've seen indie games.
Hey,
have
Song
this,
of Iron's in the chat. Hey,
not
dude,
even
Joe,
research
welcome to the
but kind of
program,
like
brother.
just
Listen,
being
I cannot
brought
wait to
more
see your
into the
game.
public eye in the last
Hopefully we get
decade
you
or
get
so.
you get
And
put
it
on
makes
today's
it a
show.
little bit hard for
I think
some
your title
people
is
to
going
kind
to
of
do
qualify
gangbuster
what
numbers,
is indeed
and I
an
cannot wait
indie
to
game.
play it. I
So
got
wanna
a
ask
chance to
you,
play the
Chris,
demo,
what are
loved
indie
it,
games all about in your
and
mind?
cannot wait for the full
Well,
game.
that's actually one thing we do in the program is we don't try and define it. In fact, I used to have a buster on the outside of my office that said indie with a little buster through it because I was like, you know what, like I'm old and I spent.
Hey, big shout out to Caitlin in the chat. I think Mav, you might know a woman named Caitlin.
We don't need to
I think
do that.
so.
You know what
I think I see a lot of her.
To me, an independent game is really all about creative control. If a developer has creative control.
Hey,
they have that
Wouter Van
independence.
Putten
But,
says something
we
in the
have
chat that's
folks in
pretty
the
interesting. I'm
program who are
looking
single
into getting a
individuals,
dev
one woman,
kit
one man
that they
making a
just
game.
mentioned.
We
Oh,
have
dude, that's
studios in the
awesome,
program that
bro.
are hundreds of people.
Listen,
making
if you
a
put a
game.
game out
we
there,
don't
let us
stress
know.
about
We'll
it. Like,
interview
our
you,
focus
and
is just on
we'll get
helping
the
people
word
get
out
their
on your
games
game.
onto Xbox, helping get them great, and then making sure that players get to see them and have a good time.
Cool.
That is incredible. Now, Chris, I'm sure there are so many amazing moments that you were able to experience throughout your 7 years with the program. But if you could pick one, what would be your proudest accomplishment?
You know what? I can't. The thing that like really gets both me and the whole team on ID going is really like when we're able to help a developer. Like a lot of times, especially a first game, like ship that first game, and that like always feels great. Or when we're able to work with developers from like all over the world. Like we work with developers in more than 100 countries on every single continent except Antarctica is really cool. So it's hard to pick a proud moment, but maybe my favorite moment was
Wouter Van
I think it was
Putten in the
E3,
chat
I can't
says
remember which year, and,
that he
it
actually
was
sent me a
right when
game
he
that I'm going to
unveiled,
be
like, a
trying
full
soon,
Cuphead
Bamboo
trailer.
Forest.
And I'd
He
seen
made
the
that with
trailer.
his
I knew
daughter.
how good it was.
So yeah, we're
And
going to be
I'm on
talking
stage,
about
I
that.
got the
I
privilege
didn't even know that was the
introducing
same person.
the
Well,
Golden
dude, thank you so much for that. We'll definitely get
the
you
lights
on the
go
show.
Golden
Maybe
Hours,
you
they
let
go
me
off
know,
me,
DM me, and let me know what
then
your schedule
the
looks
Studio
like.
MDHR logo comes up on what at the time was the largest 4K screen in existence. And I knew everybody's socks were about to get blown off, and just standing.
You'll
there
notice
with
the Tomb Raider
dog on
poster over his
stage,
shoulder.
looking
I
up
like
the
that.
Studio
Yes.
MDHR logo was like.
Yeah, what kind of secrets are hidden behind him?
Yeah, I mean, it can't. Maybe it's not just Phil.
Can we read his books? Oh, he's a Green Day fan.
Just excited by games. So that's one of my favorite moments in my career.
I remember that moment. I remember when Cuphead was first unveiled at E3 and everyone was like, what is this? And it delivered. I mean, Cuphead's a fantastic game. So what excites you right now? Like, what's the most exciting thing about the indie game scene in 2021, in your opinion?
Just a variety. I mean, we just saw on that trailer and all through today, we're just going to see so much variety of games. And it used to be that I think when people heard the word indie game, there was this thought of like, okay, this is side-scrolling pixel art. And there's still a lot of great side-scrolling pixel art games, but there's everything from first-person shooters to, every genre under the sun, new genres nobody's ever thought of before. And to me, what's so exciting is these games come from everywhere. Right. I think there's a game. I don't want to give it away. Maybe it's a review, but there's a game we're going to see in a little bit from two devs in the Philippines. It's really, really neat. Despelote, which was just in the trailer, an airport for aliens run by dogs where you like go around and interact with like clip art dogs that are rotating.
I think a lot of people are going to like the dog game. I really do.
Not really out of nowhere, but like Shotgun Farmers, which is a game that launched on Xbox. And was from one person and dominated the sales charts on Xbox for like a couple weeks. It was like the #1 game on Xbox. And that is just so cool that the world today like enables that kind of thing to happen.
Too bad that Shotgun
that's what I love.
Farmers
I just love the variety.
better.
I'm always amazed.
I don't know,
learning
finished
at
maybe
such
because it ran like
sizes at
ran like
cinema
crap.
good.
No,
Dude, I
it
didn't
did
even know
not,
about
but
that
it was
game.
blow
it
your
was
mind
cool.
what
I mean, it was
smaller
fun.
indie
It was,
teams are
but it
able
was
to
terrible.
create
It's
and
crazy.
produce in
They said one
comparison to
guy
AAA
made it.
companies.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen like such great, I think we just call it like democratization of development with the rise of engines like Unreal and Unity and Game Maker. It really is now enabled.
Can I say that the
the
game that they're
focus-
showing is a
games
preview?
still
I actually want
incredibly
that
amount of
game
hard work
that they
to make,
started with.
but
The guy
focus is
running.
on,
That
like,
looks dope.
How good my idea is. How good
I hope
my
that's not
story
just.
is.
Hope it's a real game and not just
developers are no longer
graphics for the
gated by
actual
No,
piece.
that dev was on Iron Lords.
So that's
Oh,
awesome to see.
really?
It's
Yeah, I
also
forget
been
his
awesome to
name.
see how things like
I could probably
Game
find it,
Pass,
but yeah,
have enabled.
he's a single developer, super cool.
Oh,
so
dude!
many
You know.
games
Speaking
that
of Iron
just
Lords,
really,
they're
really
they're podcasting right now, and those are my
Yeah, it is
brothers.
super
The
cool,
fact that
and
we have
I,
over
for
400
one,
people
love
here
being able to jump on
with
Game
so
Pass and
many
try something completely
incredible
new,
content
because it's working
creators
with that program,
podcasting
we
and
will
doing this
definitely
live
see
event.
games today in
I
the
can't
ID
thank you
Xbox
enough,
program
honestly, from
that
the bottom of my
are
heart, that
available
you're
on
supporting
Game
Double
Pass,
Barrel Gaming.
but not all of them that will show
This
today
game looks
are. I don't
dope.
think it's
Also, this
Microsoft.
multiplayer game.
Some of
That's
them.
right. Yeah, it's a variety. Games like
Yeah.
trying
I've
to
always
think,
liked
off
those
the top
kind
of
of
my head,
games.
Genesis Noir shipped recently. That was a Game Pass game, but Shotgun Farmer is not a Game Pass game. And there's a huge amount of variety that's in Game Pass, which is fantastic, and there's a huge amount of variety of games that are not in Game Pass. So it's just great. Like there's just a tons to play, and that makes us feel really good.
I think you look. Can I say this, guys, and whether you agree with me or not? Considering the success of Game Pass, considering that they're probably past 25 million, you think it's a mistake for these developers not to put their game in Game
I mean that in the
Pass?
best possible way. If you had asked me when we started ID, if somebody was going to come up with a game where you shoot shotguns and when you miss the
I usually
shot,
have more money to spend on games now because of Game Pass. So I usually risk some money on indies now and then.
Yeah, I agree. I actually, what I just buy the indie wrestling game.
And so what I love about indie games is they're always giving us
Retromania. Yeah, I just bought that, dude. It's 25 bucks, but I'm like, dude, that game looks awesome.
Like if I knew what was going to happen, I might not be as excited. So yeah, I think in the best possible way.
I don't think it's necessarily a mistake. I think it's obviously kind of up to the developer choice kind of deal. And obviously, at any point, they could pivot and talk to Microsoft about maybe getting it into Game Pass if they don't see the sales they want. So I think it's just another option up to the devs.
I agree with that.
I would put another spin on this because I think Game Pass is the best way for those, especially for those smaller devs, to advertise their game. It's really hard to get the word out that you actually have a game. But when you are on Game Pass and people actually play it and tweet about it and post it on Instagram or whatever, that's the best advertisement you can get, and you can only get that when you are in Game Pass. So
the only thing that's going to be interesting is there's going to be because of the amount of games that keep dropping in Game Pass and it's only growing, there is a potential that some of these could end up getting lost in the shuffle when you have a lot of games released all at once.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, eventually you have too many games to
figure out how to use it.
Has anyone started Octopath Traveler?
Yes, I have.
I'm 11 hours in. My God, that game is so good.
Talk about nostalgia, the music. Oh my God! I was like instantly transported back to the heyday of JRPGs. Oh man!
I'm so glad that's on Game Pass. That's like an amazing thing.
Out there who might be watching.
It has me excited for that Project Triangle game. Also,
yes, me too. I'm a day one buyer for that.
It's xbox.com/ID. You can see from today and from the 2,000 games that have come through the program.
Hey, J1405 says, "What's up, Box a Bear?" I'm so sorry about that, dude. I
all good meetings. I love it.
Archimedes, when are you designing your tattoo with a box and a bear?
With a box and a bear. Yeah.
There needs to be a game about a bear delivery guy named Archimedes.
That would be kind of funny.
Who boxes on the side?
He's got a German accent.
Because it means that we have a sustainable marketplace where developers can have success and keep making their games. And so I guess that would be my message. There is a lot of success on Xbox, whether it's getting millions and millions of people to play your game through Game Pass, just shipping your game and having lots and lots of people play it and enjoy it.
Well, Boom, what do you got going on for the next 3 hours?
Please come aboard.
You gonna rock this or?
Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing.
Thank you for taking the
I have to get my wife at 4, so if I want to not be divorced by the time this show is over, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to pick her up from work because it's Friday and she wants to get the hell out of there. What we're going to do, guys, is this. We're going to run this for another hour.
There. I think maybe
and then we're going to probably, hopefully, get some stuff to talk about because I can't go 4 hours. I mean, after doing almost a 2-hour breakfast at Boom, my back can't take it. I didn't expect this. I expected an hour, to be honest.
Thank you so very much for joining us.
An hour and 45
so
at best.
They didn't do a good job of telling us what this was going to be like.
They did not do a good job on
Come on,
telling us
Aaron.
what to expect.
Set expectations.
Come
on, Aaron.
They can follow at ID_Xbox.
I mean, this is excellent. This is a deep dive, and this is what these kind of games and the whole ID at Xbox needs. But this was not what I was expecting either.
Well, you know what I would have done?
Thanks a lot, guys.
This is just me. I'm not a producer, though I am hireable if Microsoft is looking. I would have done an hour of just game. Started ID at Xbox, an hour and 15 at the end, ID at Xbox. Stick around to hear about the devs, to hear about Chris Charla, and for the next 3 hours, we're going to give you some behind the scenes stuff. But give us the games up front. The fact that we have to, they're doling it out for 4 hours. I think, I mean, for crying out loud, E3 shows are 4 hours.
Xbox.com/ID is what Chris told us.
Well, hopefully they do
like
a. Go ahead, Jamie.
No, I was going to say, I thought this was going to be a bit like a future game show, just, game, little bit of info.
Yes, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Is the hardest
But
part.
4 hours, really?
Right, exactly.
The program. I mean, oh my gosh.
Hopefully they condense it afterwards and put it into like a sizzle reel with all the highlights.
Well, I'll tell you this, Mav. You, Palm, 3-Bit, Psychonauts 8, of course, Caitlin, and who else is part of the show now?
Assassin Lupa and Lady
well,
AF.
Lupa, is Lupa going to be there tonight?
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. Great. That's great to hear.
We think so.
So you're going to have a lot to talk about. So, obviously, we're going to be tuning in tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Fun Speculation to check out that show. Don't you love when these kind of programs happen and then you have just nothing but goodness to talk about?
Oh, there's so much gameplay that's been shown so far, too. I mean, for guys like you, Boom, or me, who's looking for like content to put together for videos, and Archimedes and Jamie, it's like this is a treasure trove of stuff, that we get to see. I'm excited about that also.
Hopefully it's over with by the time we go live.
Well,
yeah.
So many great games tonight.
That's funny.
Teasing and hoping for games that we will talk about a little bit later in the show as well. So don't worry, we've got lots of stuff coming.
We do. We have so much coming. But up next, everyone, streamer Kate Stark will sit down with the team behind the new game Moonglow Bay, which takes place along the peaceful eastern Canadian coastline during the 1980s. In Moonglow Bay, you play as an old rookie angler struggling to keep your business afloat while coming to terms with the death of your lifelong partner.
There's the
But after exploring the world a little bit, you come to learn not everything is what it seems. Let's take a look at the trailer.
Did they say the 80s? They've got my attention.
Yeah, me too.
Dig in the chill music.
Well,
Minecraftian.
It's your first catch. 40 years, and you still surprise me. I know this place seems strange. A fishing town afraid to fish. But that's why our new venture might just stay afloat. Because all those stories...
It's kind of like The Tourist, a little bit.
Yeah, I'm getting that vibe for sure. Of course, the whole Minecraft vibe right out of the gate.
Just like Mav said, yeah, for sure.
I'm 100% certain that voice is Adam Jensen from Deus Ex.
Together.
Oh, good call,
Jamie. That's a great catch, dude.
As long as this book is by your side. So am I. Welcome home.
That looks chill, man.
Yeah.
I'm feeling that.
I mean, listen, again, not every game is going to jump off the page for everyone.
Hi, everyone.
But
Thank you
the
so
fact
much
that,
for
that
joining
there
us,
might be a
Zach
game,
and
someone
Blue.
might dig that. And I like it's got a nice,
to the show.
like you
Can
said,
tell us a
chill
little bit about
kind of
Moonglow Bay?
vibe.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Zach.
Sure. So Moonglow is like was said in East a fishing RPG slice of life set in the eastern coast of
Fishing
1980s.
RPG. Okay. All right.
And it's in a town that people are afraid to fish because of mysterious things.
Yeah, weird
going
sea
on in the-
creatures.
yeah.
Well, it starts out like a kind of scenario where the game is very regular and you're like, oh, it's just normal fish. It gets weirder and weirder. And you're like, okay, what's actually going on
Yeah.
here? People have these myths and there's some truth to these myths. And so it's a little spooky.
And you get to fish and you get to cook and sell and make friends around the town and build the town out.
So like while you're trying to explore the world, figure out what happened to your long lost partner, the town itself is going through their own struggles with their potential closing and inability to grow and survive. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like a in tandem
Everyone
growth,
helping each other.
helping each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing. Now, without spoiling too much, what can you tell us about the town and what went into creating life in Moonglow Bay?
Oh, it does.
So the town is having its centennial, so it's going to be 100 years old and it's completely falling apart. It has no money. The town hall is closing and you kind of like gotta help.
Yeah, they should have put those interviews at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna retire here and we're gonna just open up a little fishing shack. But then they go under adventure. Your partner goes under adventure to start up the shop, and they never come back. So now you're kind of like left alone. You're like, oh, I don't know what to do. And everyone else is also closing down. So you're like,
I know we talk about it nonstop, guys, but it still amazes me how much content is going to be coming to us these next years. There are so many new developers and so many people that are coming into this industry. It's insane to think about. Like, we even have a show like this that can run potentially for 4 hours just on indie games coming soon. You know,
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I think that's what's I think that's the message that they're trying to push for, right? With ID at Xbox, is that regardless of size, regardless of how much money you have, you can develop games.
Yeah, and there's an audience for you and your game out there.
Well, you just never know what game is going to be the next Cuphead or Ori, right?
Yep.
Well, I like.
What comes across to me right now is how much of a big deal this looks like it is for them to be here doing this interview on this show. It comes across like it's a huge thing for them.
It has to be feasible as a whole scope game, and I found.
And this is what we talked about too, is that all these games deserve a spotlight, and Microsoft is obviously making a huge attempt at giving these people some kind of spotlight. You know, despite all the big games coming out, that these people and these creators deserve attention, and that's a huge deal. And I'm sure all these indie devs are so appreciative for this kind of show that allows them to put themselves out there like this.
To make a game that was very
Yeah, no,
relaxing,
100%. I think that this is important for the industry as a whole.
And yeah, we just felt like it was the perfect environment to start off, and then we just from there started researching East Coast because we want to go into the ocean, get this vast space.
And also it was a little bit of wanderlust of mine because my dream has always been like I'm gonna go live in Nova Scotia. It seems like the most beautiful place, most calming place. So it kind of has that part as well.
Yeah, like that. The starry.
Just watched the Ascent trailer in 4K. That thing looks unbelievable.
That's why, like, one of the things
This keeps getting better and better, doesn't it?
Yeah, making prettier over time.
So there is also a little bit of mystery around the
Still
story
sad we
and
don't have a
everything
date
down.
on it.
Are you able to tell us a little bit about that?
I am
Sure,
gonna
yeah, like a
say
little
though,
hint, which is
and
basically,
again, I
like,
think it has to be
there's
said
a
if you want to
lore
be
that
fair.
exists
We
in the
have
world
almost
itself.
400
It's not
people
like the
here.
fish aren't
Obviously,
they start off typical, but as you get
listen,
deeper, you get into different biomes. So
I
like
take nothing
regular
away
water
from what
we're seeing
Microsoft
right
is
now,
doing,
but then it spreads
but
into
I
like, these
think that
sulfur zones,
this
these, like,
might go
heavy
down
glacier zones,
as
and
a
you're like,
questionable
this
way
doesn't
to run
exist
the
in
show.
oceans? How does this happen?
In
And
my opinion,
so it's kind
not
of like
again.
the
I don't want to be
industry
blacklisted or
part of the
anything, but
thing
you,
that's
you
making people so
as a
afraid,
gamer,
like,
I
people
gotta
go
be
fishing,
fair.
they don't come back.
And I was
And
expecting an
it's
hour worth of
completely
So it's, everything
games
is kind of
to
fueled
be
by myths in
shown
the
from
town
little
because
to
nobody has the
big
courage
and
to
everywhere in
actually go fishing,
between.
find
Bang,
out
bang,
if the
bang,
myths
bang,
are
bang.
true or
1
not. So
hour.
it kind of like everyone just gossips to
And
each other.
you get these
Yeah, so
kind
you
of
can go talk
interviews,
around,
and
you
I
can
think
fill
they're
up a journal
important,
and
but
to
I don't think
see
that
what
they
these myths that
have
people
to be
accumulated are.
upfront,
And then
in
you
my
can go and
opinion.
like see what truth there is to this, and something like there's always gonna be like, okay, go to this location, you're gonna find this weird.
See, the way I would have done it, I would have had all the trailers go one by one, and then on the YouTube channel afterwards, have the interview in with the trailer.
So more specifically on that,
How about
how
drop a
long
blog
do you
post with a
Ubisoft
link
did
to
it.
each game with an interview? You know what I mean on the blog post. So you can just click on it, watch the interview individually based on the
Then
game.
coming back and cooking whatever you
Ubisoft did
caught,
their shows
in your
last
home,
year
and you
in
sell it
that way.
actually
They had 30 minutes, 40 minutes of game trailers, gameplay, and so on. And then at the end, they had half an hour of interviews with developers and so on.
like you have
I think
several
that's
different kinds of
perfect
fishing.
format. And like Boom said,
rock fishing is the one
they
that
should
goes the
have
most
let us
complex,
know a
has
little bit more
different levels
upfront
of
if you do such a show, because I'm now also sitting here thinking, I don't know if I can watch that for 4 hours.
No. Again,
like you choose the
devs
style
have
that you wanna-
indie
you wanna
devs have a
fish with,
place, and I'm a big supporter of that
capture
community.
the
100%,
But I just think that this is not the show I expected. I'm going to be honest with you. I appreciate what they're doing. I appreciate the 15 minutes that they're giving these folks. But this is something that has to come on the back end, not to start your show.
You're also taking away from the spotlight of the other games that come in hour 3 and 4.
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
Probably a lot
Yeah,
of people.
what you're going to get is you're going to get people to tune out, and that's what
there's
we're going to
dogs.
end up doing.
Can you pet the dog?
You can pet the dog. The dog.
So I said I hope
It's
after this
your
is
little
aired that they
companion.
put together just a highlight reel of all the footage
Oh, I'm
together
this game already.
without the interview, so
Game
that
for sure.
you can go back and watch it.
Lou, you were mentioning the art style. What inspired and influenced the art style for this game?
So Zach and I, like, ever since we met, we did a bunch of like little mock-ups and stuff, trying to figure out like what game do we want to make. And it started from the principle that Zach does voxel art, and also like I wanted to bring something really relaxing. So one of the things that it doesn't look like it because it's all squared and it's like has a specific palette and stuff. But one thing that inspires me a lot on the art direction is like Ponyo from Studio Ghibli, the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's kind of like as well as Animal Crossing, like in the old Harvest Moons from the GBA. So all those things that are very relaxing games that kind of slice of life, and
all the colors are much softer.
Yeah,
it's all intentionally like catered so you don't feel intimidated by anything, even if like our myths are a little bit spooky kind of thing. So
yeah, we kind of wanted the player to just like get home from work, in this case like finish work, and then like maybe open the game and just relax and distress from life.
Jimbo Jangles in the chat said that watching this entire show should be an achievement.
On the right track. Playtime and we'll expect. Single player? Is it multiplayer? What do we think?
It's single player and
couch co-op.
Couch co-op.
It can be drop in, drop out. Like it's more of a style of like assist.
Dream Eater says, "Damn, they're holding me hostage."
Or your daughter or anyone can just
I have a
grab
feeling we
it
got the
and
big
I'm gonna
stuff
help you
already
catch this
because
fish.
they can't
You grab
expect
onto
people
your
are going to sit
one
through
and
this
pull
for
with
the
them.
long haul.
They pull the
you know?
fish in.
So you go alongside
Well, I
with
mean,
the story.
we know that
and
Stalker
the
2
playtime.
is still
We're estimating roughly
come.
around 10 to 12
You know,
hours.
some
Yeah.
are still
Depends
to
if
come.
you want
Tunic.
to be a completionist and try to get all
Yep,
the
12
100
minutes.
fish
And
in the game.
And all the side
Yeah.
quests and stuff, or if you just
That's
want
what I
to
mean. I think there is probably a lot of good stuff in there, but if you would condense it down to gameplay and stuff, you would give the games a way better a way better platform to present themselves and to shine. This
For
way,
me, I'm excited to see how people react to the fish that they pull up, because we get really weird with their designs. And oh god,
I really love, like, for me,
I'm always down for
friendship
fishing games,
system,
though.
like,
We're
how you
good.
can become best friends with people in town, and they can tell you, like,
Yeah, I want to
their
see the
life
interview with the Void
stories, or
Sharks
help them
people.
with their little,
Or was it called Void Trains? Void
like
Trains.
that is the kind of things that
I just
that
want to see
love
what
in
kind of
games,
people made that game.
I'm looking forward to people seeing that as well.
That's
Or
fantastic.
what they were on
Tell
when they
us
thought of the
really
concept.
quickly about
Yeah.
Scripting an indie game, and how is it challenging with that aspect of game design?
It's chaotic. It's one of those things that initially you're gonna have a set idea where you're like, okay, you have this goal,
and it's gonna be so big.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have a set idea that's massive. The scope is always gonna be huge, and then you kind of, as you're building out, you kind of build the first section, and then you're like, okay, how long is this gonna be? And then you play through, and you're like, all right, yeah, that.
And can we keep pulling out this amount of story and work and
Yeah.
bigger through
Does
the
anybody think we're gonna see a surprise Hades after they shot it down, or do you think that was?
I'm
legitimate?
hoping. I'm hoping for a surprise Hades because Twitch broke that, and I was like, that's got to be locked.
Because we also,
And then they came out and said, no.
we're still developing
Why
the game,
not
and,
put
as we
Hades on
develop
Xbox?
It, we play it and
I sure
the
hope so.
storyline actually doesn't fit very well, so maybe we're
They
gonna.
won the
change it
BAFTA
because
award
a
for
lot-
best
a
game
lot
of the
of work
year
kind of goes down.
overall.
But the big thing is that we've
Yesterday.
always kept the main beats of the game.
Also,
and as
I
long
just
as
looked
you
it
time,
up. Void
the
Train
beats, then
says
the
initial release date
is not
2022.
is not what matters so much
Okay.
in terms of the how long that is. If you can tie them cleanly, then I think the players will always be happy with it because they're going to feel satisfied in the story's telling.
Yeah.
Right, and you were mentioning through storytelling and a little bit earlier that there is a good amount of lore in the game, and I'm understanding that the lore is definitely playing a bigger role than I may have thought. Can you tell us a little bit about the lore?
Wow, they are giving us a deep dive in this game.
It's hard without spoiling.
Without spoiling too much, but one of it is the reason why some of the people in town are afraid is because the fishermen who die at sea their spirits are taken within the waters, within the ocean, and that's what manifests these weird fish and stuff. It's taken,
Bad bit comes in with this is the worst.
And,
this is
like their weird thoughts.
Look, I'm
and
not.
their-
Again,
He's not wrong. This is
my glass is always
and
half
that's-
full, but I
that's just
gotta
a
admit
tip. I wanna
with
see more like
Biggie Butter,
Yeah.
he goes, "Damn, this
No,
is boring."
not spoiling is very, very good. We'll steer off of that. just to get away
Matt's
from
Hole
spoilers for a little
1977
bit,
says,
but how
"Boom! I was
did your
clean
team
shaven
approach
when this
replayability?
started. Now I look like Dreadpool and clowns."
So that was a little hard.
We're all like in Castaway, Tom Hanks right now,
Yeah, this is-
holding
this
Wilson.
is-
Let's move on.
I hope that we
different
start the
challenges in
engine
the fishing
and
itself,
actually
even though
press
it's
the
like-
gas
it's
because
a
I feel like
relaxing
we're
game, but
driving
we
Miss
still wanted
Daisy
to
here,
give
folks.
different levels to all the-
And I'm not trying to be
to the types of
disrespectful. You know how I
Yeah,
feel
and
about
it's one of
indie
the big things
developers.
is
I
that,
have such an
adding
affection
value to that
and a
replayability
respect
and
for what they
all the way
do,
we've
but
done it
I
is tying
I
to
don't
that story.
know
Because the lore is
if
so
this is how
interesting
I
to
would have
player
done
base,
the
every
show,
bit of
especially
thing
the way
that
this was
very
advertised.
added
Again,
work you're
tempered
doing goes towards
expectations.
that
when you
story.
say
And,
Exo
you've got a lot of
Mecha, when you,
collecting. So-
the
Yeah,
Ascent,
that's one of the reasons why we added so
the
many
dinosaur
fish,
game that's
because
like
we want
Left
to,
4 Dead.
people to always have a
Yeah,
surprise
Second
when they're
Extinction.
going to-
Yes,
It's awesome to
you're
do,
expecting
like,
12
different
minutes. You're expecting all
Yeah.
of these big
Very
games.
Tunic, Song of Iron,
And
so
come
many.
on, folks.
in the
This
game to
is
complete the game.
But
again.
you can.
Show me
Keep
an
going
hour.
after
Give me
that and
45 minutes
learning
of
more of the
games,
stories.
and then have this
As
on the
someone
back
who
end.
likes to replay,
I mean, we had it.
like this,
We had
and
this
I
discussion
felt much better
multiple
with the
times.
conversation. I'm
Now
very, very
it's
happy to know that there is
Xbox
that
just
option.
doesn't get this.
Before
their
we say
messaging
goodbye,
right.
because this has
It's-
been lovely
Would-
speaking.
if
I
they
mean,
would
Mr.
have said
Babbitt, good
it's going
friend of
about-
the show. This is someone that appreciates in the indie
So
scene. He
we-
says this
we
is
have
like
a Moonglow
watching
Bay
paint
Twitter
dry.
account, an Instagram
I gotta be
account,
honest with you.
Facebook
I
page.
agree
It's
with
all
Bad
at
Bit.
Moonglow Bay. And
Yeah,
we
it just said
also
at the bottom of the screen there's going to be 2 more interviews next. So
on Twitter. And
Yeah, we
also
could always talk about what
for
we've seen
publisher
so
that
far
has
more if y'all
yeah,
want.
which was
Like,
updates, which is at Coatsy.
Well, we need to do
Like,
something
post
because
and
we're gonna
yeah.
start losing people any minute. Jay1405, what's up?
Okay,
He
that's
comes
awesome.
here.
That's where
He
we can
becomes a channel member. Jay, thanks so much for
Thank
that,
you
dude. He
very
says,
much.
I know, I'm
welcome,
excited
welcome
to be
to Here
taking
Comes
these
the Boom.
updates,
Definitely appreciate the
and
support, my
I'm
brother.
going to be wish listing that as soon as I get off of here. Thank you so much for your time, and let's send it back
well,
to
it's
Storyboard
almost
Bay.
5 p.m. I'm going to go get a pint quick.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. Get 2. Drink 1 for me.
I think you can probably grab dinner as well.
A pizza in the oven. To be honest, it's dinner time over here.
You know what? I'm making pizza today. I'm doing it the cheap way. We're using Boboli. You know, I'm not gonna make the dough and everything today because we have an eye doctor's appointment, which I'm gonna need after this. I'm gonna need. I have an eye doctor's appointment at 5 o'clock, and I'm gonna need it after this because my God, my eyesight.
Different people in town, something entirely different.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I love how Kate kind of called it a comfort game because it almost is a comfort game with, not the death part, maybe. I don't know how comforting that is, but it looks so adorable. And again, the art style for me is what
brings
really
in a little bit
fresh
breeze into the Xbox.
They definitely need something because they're losing people. People expected game after game after game, which is what usually these shows are.
Yeah. I mean, if you do that kind of show, let us know in advance. Let us know it's going to be a 4-hour show where you have a lot of interviews. It's no problem that you do that show, but then you need to let people know because Archimedes.
This is what how many times have we talked about this live on the Xbox Factor podcast, how the messaging sometimes is a mistake. And this was bad messaging. I had no idea that this is what we were going to be. When I saw 4 hours, I nearly fell over my chair.
Take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We have more exclusive.
Wow, they're taking.
I'm seeing Wooter Van Putten in the chat pouring.
They need to take
whiskey.
a break.
At the end here, the chat and the panel is going to be drunk if we continue down this road.
They're taking a 3-minute break.
They're
folks.
taking a break. Wow. Okay.
Well, look, again, I'm going to just lower the sound in here. I'm going to just mute the sound for a hot second. Listen, I mean, let's get into what we saw, folks. I'll bring up the sound when they come back in 2 minutes, 42 seconds. I got to be honest with you, folks. As someone that was pumped for this show, I am very, very dejected. I was happy to see the Ascent. I mean, here's my thing, folks, and I'm not trying to be like a jerk because you know me, my glass is always half full. I'll say it again. Why didn't we get a 20-minute spiel about the Ascent? Because wouldn't you want... I mean, listen, take nothing away from the game that we just saw, which I forgot the name already. Something with a bay. I hear you. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good game for a lot of people. But I get what Microsoft is doing. I get what Chris Charla is trying to do. But damn, man, this is a bit of a conundrum for me. What Jamie, what do you think of the show so far, dude?
Look, I'm a fairly positive dude about everything. I've been bored out of my mind. The problem is, and the thing is, I'm very sympathetic towards these developers. I think, the way these indie devs work and the way Microsoft works together, it's like, I think they're still trying to find the footing and how to present from home, because we've seen Microsoft have indies on stage and, have indie highlight reels on stage at E3. But like every time it comes to like a indie presentation, the same thing happens. Like the pacing's all off. People either get bored or they just don't know what's going on. And I personally don't think Microsoft overhyped this. I just think it's a weird way to pace a program, because if this is actually 4 hours long, man, like who's going to watch a whole thing? Like they could show Mass Effect Legendary Edition stuff at the end, and I probably still wouldn't be here.
No, right. But you're onto something. As a matter of fact, who is? Let me find the quote over here. Mr. Goodcat in the chat. He says, "Yeah, I thought they said this was going to be a games showcase." And again, Mav, when you say showcase, you expect gameplay. 25 games with gameplay, and man, some of them, I mean, again, not for everyone. I get it. Boom's old saying that's coming on a t-shirt, not every game is for every gamer, but my God, this is tough.
Yeah, we think, how many games have we seen so far in that monologue, in that montage? I mean, there was like a lot of games all together in that one montage right before Chris Charla came on to talk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And each of them got like a few seconds, maybe, but there was some really cool stuff in there. I would have liked to see more from each one of those. Also, what I'm not disappointed in what I saw so far from a lot of the games as far as how they looked, right? Like, there was a lot of positives to see early on, especially with like the Ascent and Exomecha and those games just stood out. Like, wow, But this
Exomecha still stood out. The Ascent stood out. But again, I mean, we're hopefully going to get some more. Let's continue with the podcast. Pong Soul. Shout out to for him being always a safe space invader, good friend of the show. He says that we're a bunch of negative Nancy's, and to some extent, he may be onto something, because I think that as gamers, we're spoiled as F.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, this is not what I expected. I mean, what are your thoughts? Are you falling in line with everybody else?
Well, yeah. I mean, I have to. I mean, again, I think there's a couple different ways they could do this. I just went back and reread the post from Xbox Wire to see if we all missed something, and they did say in there, like, it's going to be hosted by Twitch streamers, and they're going to conduct interviews with developers and take fan questions and maybe even drop some game codes. But I guess the layout of the show, as everybody's kind of already indicated, there's a couple different ways they could have gone with this, and this is one. I just don't know, on a Friday to schedule something for, if it is going to last 4 hours. I mean, like Jamie said, who's got the time for 4 hours? Everybody's just going to wait around for the highlights afterwards. To do a show like this would have, I think they definitely should have put all the gameplay trailers and announcements up front, and then had the developer interviews afterwards, so people could stick around if they wanted to and hear some deep dives on some of their favorite games, or like Mav said, maybe post the interviews separately, so the games that people are looking forward to, they can hit those interviews specifically and listen to them and get the deep dive. There's just a couple different ways about it. I don't think we're being negative per se. I think we're just criticizing the format. And
good point.
That's all.
Great point. Archimedes, CJ Gomez, good friend of the show, he says that the show pace is what's bad, that he's not hating on the games. And I agree with him 100%.
100%. I think that the games deserve a little better, because if you want to give, and that's what I wanted Xbox to give these indies a dedicated platform to really showcase themselves, because that's what indies usually don't have in the big shows, like an E3 or so. There they get those sizzle reel trailers where they show in 2 minutes 25 games, and they don't get a spotlight. That's what I was hoping here with this show. But the pacing is actually taking away so much from the great games that have been shown. I mean, I'm trying to write down a list here in parallel, what kind of games appealed to me. We had the big ones, Exomecha and the Ascent, but there was a little game in there called Night Squad 2, for instance. It was a playable demo last year during the Gamescom demo week. I had a lot of fun with that. Dark Alliance looked cool. There are a couple of cool games.
Yeah, Dark Alliance should have had more spotlight. That game looks really good.
So Art of Rally, that wasn't announced for Xbox before this, was it? Because hey, Indie Gamer loves that game. He says
Art
it's
of Rally
amazing.
looks really good.
I don't know what this is a new announcement as well. Series XS. Craftopia. So I think we're getting some juicy stuff again here.
I'm going to bring up
actually
the sound
taking
again.
away with the pacing of this show from the games. And that's why I feel bad for the developers, because we all won't probably stick around for hour 3 and 4, and I bet that there are a bunch of great games in hour 3 and 4 in this show. But if you have to endure interviews for 30 minutes in between the sizzle reel trailers, I'm not sure if that's the way how to do it.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, I'm going to raise the volume, guys, so we can get everyone to hear what's going on in the background. Hopefully, we're going to get some more trailers before another interview. But I want to thank the 420 plus people here. Listen, folks, we're positive people. We're positive gamers. You know that if you're here, but this has not been what I expected. And I think that even if you are a fan of indies, and I think we all are, that you will admit that. Paul Grant drops a $5 super chat. Paul, thanks for being here, brother. He said, I had a hard time sitting through the Snyder Cut for 4 hours, let alone this. If it wasn't for you guys chatting, I'd be sleeping. Yeah, I mean, that's Thank you for the comment, dude.
Rust
Speaking of-
console
Yeah,
edition.
the Rust console edition. Rust is huge. That should be cool.
Speaking of DC, the new Suicide trailer just dropped. Suicide Squad.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh,
Nice.
nice, dude.
And it's definitely R-rated.
Yeah.
Team 17. They make.
Yeah,
I
this
love
is
Team
great.
This is
17.
Narita boy.
The movie or the game?
Love what they do. This
Yeah.
looks really good. This looks
Yeah,
fantastic.
I've got this pre-downloaded already.
Nice.
Narita boy. It's coming to Game Pass on the 30th, I think.
Yeah, this
Oh,
looks
nice,
cool. Is it like a
dude.
Metroidvania almost, or is it just?
No, it's an ode
Platformer.
to like what's the old 80s or 90s game?
Well, I mean, it has a sword, but it's very Tron-esque.
Yeah. Narita boy. That looks cool, man. Oh, this is yeah.
I tried playing the first Hello Neighbor, but I couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
Meet the creepy AI-driven Mr. Peterson. This character
It's got a big following though, man. They keep
The kids
pumping
dig
out
it.
more games. Yeah.
The kids dig it. Yeah.
It was huge on YouTube.
Hello Neighbor
Yeah.
2.
Right, for streams and stuff.
You'll be playing as a local
My
journalist
nephew played it
Quentin, who
like
is
crazy.
suspicious of his creepy neighbor, Mr. Peterson. For those new to the Hello Neighbor franchise, this is Raven Brooks, the sort of town where everyone keeps to themselves and goes about their lives. Normally, you would too, except a bunch of people have gone missing. And there's just something strange about your neighbor, Mr. Peterson. Everyone is afraid of him. There have been rumors of children going to his house and never being heard from again. Some people say he likes to lock people up in his basement. But no one has any proof. So people just try to avoid Mr. Peterson, his odd house, and ignore the strange sounds coming from his basement at night. You have a feeling that Mr. Peterson is behind all of the neighborhood disappearances, but no one believes in your ideas and theories. And while you normally wouldn't break into someone's house, you're the only one who believes something is wrong and has the guts to uncover the truth. When you break into Mr. Peterson's house, you'll be going against an AI that is constantly evolving. Our goal for Hello Neighbor 2 is to provide unique player experiences. This is an experience that is driven by the community. Mr. Peterson's behavior is a combination of a neural network and algorithms that allow him to constantly learn from his experiences with everyone who plays our game. It begins with the collection of player activity. Mr. Peterson takes note of player behavior, whether or not most players are likely to hide in a closet, use a certain escape route, or certain objects. As time progresses and he learns, Mr. Peterson's behavior may change and surprise you. How Mr. Peterson plays in one encounter with you might be different from the next, all due to his encounters with the game's community as a whole. In this way, the community's experience with Mr. Peterson changes over time.
Kind of like the Drivatar.
Yeah, that's a great point, dude. Yeah, that's which, by the way, people always say that I'm very aggressive in my driving, and that they hate driving against me. That you know that I knock them off the road. I'm sorry for that,
These
sir.
characters share the same AI core, but behave differently and have their own stories for you to discover. So while you might think you're just playing the game, you're really contributing to the development and improvement of Mr. Peterson's AI. We hope this presentation of our AI and development gives you an idea of what to expect in Hello Neighbor 2. If you'd like to try an early access
Jimbo
version of Hello
Jangles in
Neighbor
the
2,
chat
you
drops
can
a
check out some of our
$4 super chat and says that's like $1 an hour. Well, thanks, brother. Definitely appreciate that. All right, come on, man. Give us some.
Well, Art of Rally.
Oh, here we go.
I'm excited about that.
Yes,
big
so
time.
am I.
So I played the first one and I was kind of petrified. Like he was.
Shout out to
trying
Jimbo
me
though
from
for
every
the
little
Napoleon
corner. I
Dynamite
remember
reference.
trying to hide in the
Yeah,
rooms, but
that
then
was
he
that was
right
good.
there
I
waiting
thought that's
for
what
me.
he was
So the
going
fact that
for.
they're
Who
making
doesn't
a
love
second
Napoleon
one,
Dynamite?
and he's
Come on.
even smarter
Classic,
than the first
classic
game.
film.
I'm nervous. I'm very nervous.
Well, that was one of the coolest things about the first Hello Neighbor.
A lot of people in the chat are saying that the Twitch streamers are boring. I don't necessarily think that they're boring. I just think that the way that the show has been presented and how they're just doling this stuff out to us, I think like once we get out of here, that just kind of pull away towards the end. And folks, we're only going to go another 40 something minutes and then kind of break down the first 2 hours. I don't think it's going to be the greatest podcast I've personally ever done. I didn't listen. I got to be honest with you. I would have come back at like maybe 6 to do a wrap up show if I knew the show was going to be 4 hours, not a live presentation. Boy, talk about my first live presentation blowing.
I was very happy to see that Team 17 is coming out with another game.
You know, again, thanks for bearing with us. 400 people here in the chat. Again, this is.
It looks very 80s and retro and almost
Stop,
futuristic.
Infinite Double A, good friend of the show. He says, "Let's stop talking and show some games already." Listen,
they're giving them way too much time. But I mean, I can understand them being there and giving a little short talk, you know, but like keep it to like a minute, you know.
Yeah, that first trailer we saw.
Well, you know what the problem is that they're Twitch streamers. This is what they do, right? And you know, it's Boxer Bear. You know, let me just lower this sound for a second because Jesus Christmas, I don't want to talk over you. Hold on just a second. Let me find this. Let me find this out.
For Art of Rally, Craftopia looked cool, and I saw a lot of Rust fans in chat.
You know, Boxer Bear, you have talked about Microsoft not reading the room correctly, and I think that what you have said in the past, again, you and I are very, very positive people on the Xbox Factor podcast. You're very positive on the way that you produce your shows. Is this another example of Microsoft not reading the room or potentially not letting gamers know enough?
Yeah. I mean, I'm absolutely. It's all about, of course, setting expectations. Yeah. If I would have known it is a 4-hour stream, I wouldn't have been as excited for it because then I would have expected this kind of show. On the other hand, I think it's a kind of a missed opportunity here because the first quarter of 21 is over.
Yeah.
And we have a bunch of games that we know that are coming out before the fall season. I've said that I think last week on the Xbox Factor podcast. There are so many games coming: Second Extinction, The Ascent, Exomecha, Scorn, and so on. And we also know about Crossfire X and Psychonauts 2. All these games are supposed to come out before the fall season starts. So let's say by the end of August or something. Yeah, all these games will come out in that time frame. So you kind of have to start getting the excitement out there, yeah, for those games and start to advertise them. So this would have been a perfect way to do that, but not with this kind of format. So I think it's also a little bit a missed opportunity. Give The Ascent and the Second Extinction and Scorn and so on, and Song of Iron the chance to market the game, get the hype out there. You're not doing that with a 4-hour stream.
Yeah, no, I agree. Real quick, shout out to Antoine Williams. Now, he says, after dropping a $2 super chat, thank you for the generosity, Antoine. Definitely appreciate you being here. He said he came to this channel for positivity. Stay positive. And look, we have to call it down the middle, dude. Like, you know, I can't be overly positive about something I'm not, you know, because then I'm full of shit, right? At the end of the day, then you can't trust in me. You got to be like, oh, that Boom guy, he's looking for clicks. He's looking for numbers. He's full of shit. I mean, we're going to be positive, but yeah, we got to call a spade a spade. JC Claramore drops a very generous $2 super chat and says, random, but I would love a new driver game. Yeah, dude, me too. Definitely would love a new
without the tutorial.
Without the tutorial, indeed. But yeah, listen, I mean, we're gonna keep it going.
No, I think you know what, Boom, to add to you, I think we've been
please, jump in, brother, jump in.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, I think, you know, I'm sure people are jumping in and hearing us talk about the format and thinking that we're being downers, and we're not. We love what we've seen so far. The gameplay has been great. I mean, they're showing a ton of gameplay.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about that.
Yes, this is not the typical, you know, well, we're gonna get, you know, let's see what we get, and we get, you know, just a bunch of CG, or we get a bunch of just, you know, little things. We're getting a lot of gameplay here, so I'm definitely impressed with what I've seen so far, because again, how much we have coming out, the content that's coming down the road is crazy. So that part of it, I'm
You
extremely
wanna
happy about. I
go
mean, look at
into,
we're getting a cooking simulator for
iconic
God's
cooking
sakes.
methods,
Look at
like
this.
using our
This looks
fingers
fantastic.
Yeah, my wife's gonna love that one.
Actually, I'm actually starving. Like I missed lunch today. I didn't get my oatmeal, so now seeing this thing,
so cool.
some of the food actually looks really good.
Yeah, look at that. Look at those buns. Wow.
Thank you for tuning in.
Well, I'll say this too, guys. I think that this is like is being hosted on Twitch, right? And Twitch has a lot of shows like this, right? And they are actually pretty popular. They get a lot of viewers with these long, drawn-out interviews slash hey, talk about what you're doing kind of shows. There's quite a bit of that on Twitch all the time, hosted by Twitch. And I think that Xbox is missing the mark as far as going after who their actual target audience is, like who they're, and instead they're going and catering to that audience, which it doesn't necessarily care as much about a lot of these games. You know, but it'll be interesting. I think they're going after that crowd to say, hey, look at all these other things that we have over here to the Twitch audience instead of their Xbox fans. If that makes any sense.
You know
That makes
what?
perfect sense.
That actually makes all the sense in the world because Twitch is all about this long form content, while YouTube and people that like us that do YouTube are used to these shorter videos. Like, so I think maybe that's why it's hitting the missing the mark, because we all expected this indie quote unquote showcase to be in between 20 minutes to an hour long, but it's not that. This is very twitchy.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, it's funny. I should have suspected something was afoot when Aaron Greenberg. I'm not sure if it was Aaron or it was somebody that came out and said that traditionally they have this being played on YouTube, but they partnered specifically with Twitch. I should have put one and one together, and I didn't. And I mean, am I to blame for that? I don't necessarily know. I think Microsoft really did not explain to what we were going to get. If they would have said, hey, we're having a 4-hour show with games, dev interviews, and Twitch streamers by the boatload, I think we could have, I could have come back, like I said, and did a wrap-up show. Because, man, we're an hour and 12 minutes in, and yes, a lot of people in the chat, and perfect example, Infinite AA drops a $5 super chat. Thanks for that, brother. He says, I'm liking the games that they are showing, but the format isn't great. It isn't keeping my attention enough. I'm fine with interviews, but the Ascent, please. Yeah, you see, that's what we're talking about. It's a miss on my part. When you tell me the Ascent's going to be here, I'm expecting some massive gameplay, and we got a little bit of it, but not enough.
So that you could actually remap the controls so that you.
Well, in 19 minutes, I have to leave to take
don't
my
worry
mom
about
to
it,
the
brother.
doctor.
We got you, brother. You bounce out whenever you have to. And you know what? Before you get on out of here, listen, folks. Mav runs an incredible show, Fun Speculation, on YouTube. I'm imagining that tonight's show at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on his YouTube channel is going to be the wrap up for what happened today. And head over there and check that show out and give him a sub, folks. He just passed 500 subs. Let's get him to 1,000.
Thanks, Boom.
Yeah, of course, dude. Listen, that's what we're supposed to do. One hand washes the other, both hands wash the face. At least that's how I was raised. But yeah, I mean, look, we're gonna keep this going, folks. We're going to back out of this in about 17 minutes. It's 1:13. We're 90. We'll go at 1:30. We'll be 90 minutes into the show. I don't know what we're gonna miss, but what I can do is we'll probably wrap this up on 30 minutes of our expectations on what went wrong, what went right, what we liked, what we didn't like. Keep it a 2-hour program. Show some gameplay that's actually fun. because some of these games, even though I respect what they do, again, this is
all the audio feedback.
not what I expected. I'm going to be honest. To say I'm a bit disappointed would be a little bit of an understatement. Like I said, I got to keep it real, folks. I'm not a fraud. I get excited. You hear the excitement in my voice for pretty much about everything. This is
that is so cool. I can't
yeah,
wait to go
not but it is what it is. We'll talk more in at 1:30, but we'll just hopefully we can get some score on gameplay before then.
Really creative and meme driven.
Yeah, hopefully Archimedes and Jamie are snipping all the game clips out of this stuff right now, and they're gonna send them to me because I don't want to go through a 4-hour video and clip all these out.
They're basically.
I mean, you know what? I mean, again, I'll say it because I just saw Mr. Badbit write sigh in the chat, and listen, you know what? I was critical. I was very critical about Sony's show. I thought it was good. I gave it a 6 out of 10. Nintendo's first major event since September of 2019. I expected bomb announcements. I gave it a 6 out of 10, folks. This is looking like a 6 out of 10. I don't think it's going to be worse, but unless someone presses on the gas, this is a 6 out of 10 for me too. And you know what? That's 6s across the board for all three major publishers. Yeah, it's not good.
That is so amazing. I love that.
I mean, if this is the first gaming event you have in the year, you know what Twitter will look like tomorrow.
Yeah, you know something. Again,
that's gonna be an issue.
You need to turn.
Just thanks for the support. Infinite AA he says BoomStick isn't fake. He tries to be positive, but doesn't want to blow steam. Yeah, that's how it is, folks. I gotta be honest. If I'm overly excited about games more than you could realize, but I gotta call it. I gotta call down the middle. Otherwise, you're gonna say that hashtag BoomStick's a fraud. I can't. I gotta be real. It says the heart under the herd. Let me see if I can read this correctly. The herd, the Thurum drops a $5 super chat and says, even Brokeback Mountain and 2001 Space Odyssey think the showcase has pacing issues. You know what? Again,
that's very subtle.
Not to be a jerk, but you can't argue that.
But we wanted to
Anybody watch the Future Games yesterday?
I missed it, dude.
Okay, that was what I was expecting, and that was perfectly paced, and I thought it was fantastic how they did it. And I think that's what we probably all were expecting was a similar style. Some bigger spots for some of the games coming out with a lot of gameplay, and then some smaller sizzle reels with a lot of the future games coming down the road with just quick clips. And I think that's all. Our expectations just were not proper for this format.
Here's a perfect example of what you're saying. Now they're 15 minutes in already, and I don't know what to do with myself. I'm sitting here as the host, and I'm trying to strike up a conversation. We've seen the same trailer 6 times, not even different gameplay. This is the problem, folks.
Oh, that's awesome. So
you have three Twitch streamers, and again, Blind Gamer Steve. He's a very popular dude. Now the other two I don't really know because I'm not a Twitch guy. I'm 51 years old in September. I don't do Twitch. You know what I'm saying? I produce 4 live shows that have originally produced content that gets people excited. Again, look, they just repeated the same freaking thing. At some point, you got to stop.
When the game gets launched, you also could actually play in a Japanese.
Yeah, I don't know how many times she can make the same soup.
Again,
and I like the time over here.
I'm hungry for buns, though.
No, well, definitely. Well, listen, tune in to Slow Mo's channel. He has to, now that he passed 1,000 subs, play Bug Snacks for 2 hours.
I love that so much.
So that's
shout out to Slow Mo.
But here's the thing. I like to cook in real life. I honestly do. And in Zelda Breath of the Wild, I'm not even going to tell you how much time I spent cooking because it's going to be embarrassing. But I've seen the same thing a couple of times. It's like, okay.
All right, that's
okay.
We also have a Twitter. We also have a Twitter. Click on Club. Yeah. And Discord, yeah.
Oh, there's a Discord too. Just look him up on Twitter. Look him up online. Supot will be coming very soon to Xbox. Thanks once again, and I'm going to send it back to Story Mode Bay and Trisha. Thank you so much.
Yeah, the way a future game show was done was kind of more streamlined than this. Well, more streamlined than this.
Okay, Brianna, are you a good cook in real life?
I've gotten better, yes. When I first started cooking, no, not really. But it's almost like trial and error. I love what they were saying earlier about how, you know, in their culture, there's no sense of really
like Mav said,
following
this is
recipes.
definitely
It's
a
just you let
Twitch
the ancestors guide
event.
you, and they'll tell you
Yeah.
how much you need to add. That's
Yeah.
the kind of cook I am.
I mean, listen, if everyone tuned out from my show in the next 10 minutes, I couldn't even argue with anybody. Like, I'd be like, yeah, you know what, I suck, because I was expecting us to do an hour. What I say when we first started? This is where we're gonna go. We're gonna go to an hour and 15. We're gonna back out. We're gonna break down all the amazing news. And then we'll send everybody on their way. And wow, I mean,
I guess pick it up. The food yells out its name.
Yes.
wow.
That's what I'm in
Is all I got. Is wow.
Or even they were saying the 5-second achievement.
You know, funny, Radical
drop the
Advent
food,
in the
and as
chat
long as you
says
pick
even
it
with
up,
low
blow the dust off and put it
expectations,
back on the
this
stove
is
within
bad.
5 minutes. You'll
I
be
can't
good.
argue.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm excited to play.
Look, I'm not gonna front.
5-second rule.
I came in here with sky high expectations because of what Microsoft told me was going to be here. So I was like, okay, we're getting tuned in. We're getting Crossfire X. We're getting maybe I'm the blame. Maybe again I overhyped myself. But this is
behind nobody saves the world.
I'm just starting to like overanalyze like what I'm seeing on the screen now, and just like nitpick and get angry at even like the blue effects going back and forth on the background. It's just making me crazy. Another 3-minute break. Oh, jeez. Hey, intermission, everybody. Time to go get your popcorn, your soda, your candy. We got another fire 2.5 hours of this show.
Yeah, look, Tempest Sun, good friend of the show, panel member, who's going to be joining us on Monday evenings. Very, very fire podcast of primetime gaming. With Mr. Boomstick and friends, drops of $5 of Genesis. The problem is expectations should have been more clear. Covering these streams and events takes time and planning and scheduling with people. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Again, this is, you know, hey, again, who we got? We got Hamed in the chat. Again, normally I don't like negative comments, but he says the format is begging for you to stop watching the show. I mean, is he wrong? The answer is no. I don't think he is. And again, 4 hours. Like when I told Mrs. Boom, now Mrs. Boom and I, we're movie connoisseurs. We watch a movie together every evening. That's why I don't do a lot of night stuff. That's why it's tough for me to guest on people's stuff, because I do stuff during the day while she's working. So my home life with Mrs. Boom, she gets the proper attention, right? That's what as a good husband, that's what I have to do, and that's what I enjoy doing. When I told her Justice League was 4 hours and 3 minutes, as a diehard fan of film, she was like, "For real?" And we watched it, but we watched it in 2 shots, because she's like, "Yeah, 2 hours. I don't mind." I mean, we're like, we've done Lord of the Rings marathon, the extended, in a Saturday. Like we'll just sit there and we'll veg out all day, and there's popcorns and it's snacks, and we're just having a good time. But like this, man, this is wow. This is a tough pill to swallow. And even as a positive Xbox dude, man, I don't want to dump on anybody, but wow, I am just very disappointed.
Yeah, I'm excited for somebody to put all the footage together in just one big reel for YouTube, so that I can go back and watch it all over again. Because again, the content itself, what we're getting from the games is fantastic. It's just
the games themselves, which is the highlight of the show. Game showcase is what it's supposed to be. The Twitch people, though, folks, I could be the old man yelling at the sun, like, "Oh, son, you're too hot." Like maybe I'm that old guy. Maybe I'm the guy from Up. I don't know, but I'm not digging these people. I'm just not. I'm not a Twitch guy. You know what I'm saying? Like I know that people might even say, "Boom, how dare you?" You do 2-hour shows, and you want people to tune into you, and you know something, you'd be right for saying that. But at the same time, I bring entertainment. You know, I bring facts. I bring, you know, gameplay. This is wow.
I think it's because these Twitch streamers, they used to like trying to entertain people for like 5, 6, 7, 8 hours.
Yes.
Which, you know, it doesn't fit like how gamers tend to consume game reveal content. And right now I have the YouTube channels like pulled up on my screen, and all the trailers have been dropping on the Xbox YouTube channel as they've been shown on screen. So all you have to do is just put them all in a playlist, and you have your own mini showcase.
Right. All right. Well, listen, folks, we're closing on 90 minutes of just complete snooze fest in regards to these streaming. X Element in the chat, just $5 super chat, says, how did Microsoft ever think this format would work with an audience? I agree 100%. They need to retool their marketing strategy and listen to the audience. Again, this is what we're talking about, folks. We're going to watch this one last trailer because I like, you know, whimsical kind of stuff. This actually looks pretty cool. Mav, we're going to let you get on out of here. You got something to do.
Platonic.
Yeah, I'm going to sit through this like next couple of minutes here and watch this, and then I'll bounce out.
All right, brother. Wait. I like Platonic. I've been saying for how many people have heard me say that Platonic should do the next Banjo-Kazooie, but here we go.
Oh, I've seen a trailer for this before. It's going to be 120 frames, I think, on the Series X. And this.
Nice.
This art style is really freaking trippy and cool, man. It's like 2D in a 3D world. It's pretty awesome. So Platonic, they did. Is that the ukulele?
Yeah.
Yes. Right. Yes.
This is awesome.
You know what this reminds me of? I know it's different art style. I get a lot of Cameo vibes from this because she changes into the different creatures and stuff.
Yeah.
Play special demo right now. Game and
really?
Trials.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it on Xbox? Or is it
I would imagine so.
Oh, yeah, it's got to be, obviously. Dumb question.
Invasion of Normandy.
Oh, is this that World War II game that's been out? It is.
Isn't this the sequel to Verdun?
No, this is that.
I know what you're thinking of.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm blanking on the name.
Enlisted.
Yeah.
Enlisted, yes. It's been out for a while.
Has anybody played that?
No, I know a couple people that have that said it's actually really pretty good. And the graphics are incredible because they're using a lot of the tech, which a lot of games aren't already.
Tripwire.
Oh, this is...
That also looks pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it looks good. Yeah. This reminds me of the Ubisoft game.
For Honor?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is this Chivalry 2?
Yeah, Chivalry 2. And this is, the early access, I think, was already available for this.
We make our stand here and now.
Oh, that's hilarious. That is hilarious what he just did.
It kind of looks a little bit like that. How is that? What's that called?
June 8th.
From Warhorse. That.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah, now we're talking.
There we go.
I'm excited. This looks so good, dude. Like, I'm not saying it because I'm biased because he's in the chat. I'm just saying that what Joe created is just the atmosphere. It's you ever seen the film? The book was originally called Eaters of the Flesh. 13th Warrior. I know that's the kind of vibes I get from this.
I just love all the different environments he's now made from where he started. Oh, man. Oh, God.
Yeah, this game stood out to me the first time they showed it in that sizzle reel, I think. Was it at E3? Was it the first time it popped up?
Yes.
This looks really good. Yeah, I think this is going to be one of those games that people are going to be in their top 10s of 2021. That's my feeling on it. I got killed by the troll. He beat the balls off me, that troll. Like, I could not get past him.
Joe, if you're still in here, incredible job, man. Just
yeah, Joe.
So
great stuff,
fantastic.
Oof, lightning axe.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And, that's God of War. God of War returning axe.
Oh,
2021.
God, I can't wait.
Yeah. He said he's targeting summer for that game.
Yep, summer.
I hope he can make it. By the way, that's really an interesting thing. He quit his main job end of last year to start working full time on that game, and you can really tell that he got now a little bit more time to put in the game, and it has come a long way. When you compare it to where he started, it really looks amazing. And he also has a super interesting Twitter channel where he really shares the progress of his game. I highly recommend to follow that. It really gives you a good insight in how a game is actually developed.
Nice.
This is XO1. It's a next-gen only exploration game. I've been following this for a while. It's actually a really cool concept.
Yeah,
it's actually like a super next-gen advanced version of Tiny Wings, basically.
Yes.
It looks super chill. I love chill games like this.
Yep. They showed that last year too.
That was
man.
Oh, those are some good ones. All right.
Well, we got some good stuff there. I gotta bounce, guys. Yep. It was a blast. Unfortunately, I have to go take my mom to the doctor's office. But
all right,
thank you for
thanks for being
letting me be
here. Super. Hey, listen, I'll leave it up to the chat. I'll leave it up to the panel. Do you guys want to keep going with this, or do you want to just back out of this Twitch stuff and kind of just give our break down what we saw and Cold Square? Because I can't sit here for another 2.5 hours. Even if you were paying me $1 an hour, I couldn't do it.
It's kind of like a 3D platformer.
Yeah,
but what I like about it
I
is
think
kind of
now we're getting another
experimented
interview,
with
so the
that
next
3D
trailer
style
will
a
be
little
in
bit
20
as
to
well.
30 minutes.
Oh my god.
I'm excited.
Yeah, you know what?
This.
I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna let me get out of here because this is awful. All right, folks. First of all, we have 364 people here. I want to completely apologize for the pacing of this show. I'm gonna put some gameplay in the background, so we're kind of just gonna break down what we saw and what's what basically is what happened. Let me just get this in here. And let me lower that, pause it. There you go, folks. You can see some more Dirt gameplay. This is my latest gameplay trailer for this. Okay, listen. First of all, Mav, thanks for being here, brother. Super appreciate it. I know that good friends of the show, Bounty Boom, was like, yeah, keep going. But yeah, you know what, dude? It's been tough. I as a podcaster, as a member and a friend of this community, I go out of my way to make sure that when you tune into my program, you're going to get a couple of things. One, you're going to get honesty, integrity. That is something that stands tall on my channel. Gameplay, now that I have a better computer, or a pewter as I like to call it, thanks to Mrs. Boom, you're going to get some awesome gameplay. More so, you're going to get some community members to make first appearances and bring back some special people like we have in the chat right now, so we can get honest and fun opinions. What you're not going to get is lies. What you're not going to get is false narratives. I would be a fraud if I went out and said that the PlayStation show and the Nintendo show were 6s, and somehow or another I gave this a 10. They're getting a 6 too, and I don't even know what's coming in the next 2.5 hours. And you know what? The truth is, I don't know if I want to know, and that's a problem. This is the expectations of fans. I don't think, and again, someone said in the chat, even if you tempered your expectations, I think this is an epic fail. That's my opinion. If you unsubscribe and give me the big FU, I hear you. You know what? I'm not going to argue with you, but I have to be real. And I think that if you are someone that appreciates, the honesty of what I bring to this channel, what the honesty and integrity I bring to this community, then you gotta sit back and you get like, you know what, Boom, I may not like what you're saying, but I think you're right. Archimedes, I want to go to you first because you, like myself, pride our careers, and I like to consider this as my second career in my life with YouTube, as being someone that puts positivity before anything. And I think that this show made it very hard to do so. I mean, like, what could have Microsoft have done better? I mean, do you think that the messaging up to the point of the show launching? I mean, look, before I get to you, here's a perfect example, folks. I don't usually do live stream on top of a live stream because what I like to do is I like to take detailed notes, put my thoughts onto a quick paper, and then bring you a quality show. I tried something new for the channel today, and for me, I succeeded in the aspect of doing the live stream with the live stream, but I feel like I failed as a host because you tuned into Double Barrel Gaming, you gave me your sub, you gave me your super chat, you gave me your view, and I feel like I didn't deliver, and that's because that was out of my control. Perfect example of why this is a fail. Seconds before we went live, I had to reach out to Cognito, my brother, and I'm like, Cog, I cannot find the link for this show. The one that Aaron Greenberg, head of marketing, tweeted was invalid. Like, what? Am I going too far, Archimedes?
No, I mean, this should tell you something that I had the same problem. I wanted to bring the show up on the big screen next to my computer, and I wasn't able to find the link. Yeah, listen, I was really excited. I knew that it's indies. I didn't expect a big AAA game to be there. This is not what I'm saying.
No, that I didn't expect. I expected indie titles.
I expected indie titles. I was expecting the indie titles I'm looking forward to, and I've seen a couple of them, which are looking really good, and that's why I feel a little bad for the developers, to be honest, because they deserve a little bit of better spotlight. I was hoping that this show is that this show is this dedicated ID at Xbox event where these indie developers that pour so much love and work into their games and create something really special, that they get the chance to shine. And this format is kind of taking away from that. Yeah, like Jamie said, we have it easy as the hardcore fans. After the show, we go onto the ID at Xbox YouTube channel. We put all the trailers in a playlist, and then we just watch what we would like to see and make ourselves a highlight. But this is not what brings the excitement in the community. The excitement brings it when you have a 1 hour show where it's trailer after trailer and your mind is blown by seeing The Ascent next to Song of Iron, next to Stalker 2, to Scorn, to Second Extinction, and so on. And then we are all going out here on Twitter, posting about it. Awesome! What did you think about this game or that game? And this format is taking away that kind of excitement, and I really feel bad for the developers, to be honest, because that was their chance to get that hype on social media. They won't get that after the June or July event or whenever that will be, the big show, yeah, where they are next to a Halo and next to a Starfield or something like that, yeah. And so, yeah, that is what Xbox should have done, in my opinion. Make that dedicated event for those smaller developers that usually don't get the attention and the excitement in the community. So, yeah, hopefully that they listen to the feedback and improve upon that the next time. And one last thing, I'm not sure if Pong said it or Jamie. I agree 100%. If we are excited for a game like The Ascent or that cooking simulator or whatever, and we want to learn more about the interviews, we go to the respective YouTube channels and watch those 10, 15, 20-minute dev diaries where they could have put it with those interviews. That's always a chance. I know, for instance, Ninja Theory does that. They post these dev diaries on their YouTube channel every once in a while. They're super interesting for me, but that's because I'm interested in the game. And if I'm not interested in the game, I don't want to see a 20-minute interview of a developer. That's also a missed opportunity here. So the format didn't go as well as we all hope, but the games that they have shown, they look good. In between the 20-30 minute interviews, we have seen some awesome games. And I think this is what we hopefully can focus on after this show. We are all a little bit bummed probably about the format, but in the end, we will still get a couple of great games. So I'm a little torn here. I love the game, didn't like the format.
Yeah, you know what? Here's the problem. I believe it was Archimedes that you said this. Hours 1 and 2 are going to get the most views, those games, and hours potentially 3 and 4 are going to have people that just don't care, and that's why this is a failure. This is about putting indie games in our faces as gamers. And a 20-minute interview about a cooking sim. Sorry, folks. About a boating town sim that's a chill game. Listen, the game looks great. Love the story behind the two devs that made that game. Love what inspired them to make that game. But if you are trying to get people interested, you gotta show the game. Like we saw very little. Even in some of the games that I liked, I felt like I wanted more, and I did not get that. Pong, let's get your opinion on this. Do you agree with me and Jamie and most of the chat? I mean, again, we're under 300 people. That's because people are tuning out, and I can't even argue that. I can't even argue. I'm having a hard time being positive on something that maybe Boom's to blame for this. Maybe but you look at the thumbnail. I put all these games there with the anticipation that we were going to get an update to games that we saw last May, and we still haven't seen half of them. Like, I don't know, man. Pong, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree. The content that's here, as far as the games go, I am so excited about, and just I want to see all of it put together so that I can just watch it in a highlight fashion and then pick out the games that I want to go deep dive and go find those devs. And I understand what they're doing here. Again, this is fantastic from the standpoint of giving them the spotlight. However, with the format being the way it is, how many people are going to stay engaged with this style of format to actually appreciate what these devs are saying? Again, we as gamers, we like to get our, take our content in short bursts, right? Especially when it comes to seeing new gameplay. That's what we love to see. We're hyped about it. We plan these podcasts around this stuff for this reason, is because we want to talk about what we are seeing. And again, I understand exactly what Microsoft's trying to do here. I can get down with the long format to give the devs a chance to talk about their experience in creating these love childs of theirs that they are putting out to the world and saying, hey, we're here. And I can appreciate that to the fullest. And I think it's fantastic. However, to have the format set up this way with all of this talking and interviews in between actual game footage and actual trailers, that's what breaks it up. And then people lose their interest. They become disinterested, and it takes away from, like Archimedes was talking about, that hype factor that goes into these types of shows. And again, maybe it is our expectations, maybe because, we just thought it was going to be a similar format that we generally see when they're doing this type of stuff. Maybe we just came into it with the wrong mindset. However, if you're going to plan a show, if you're going to plan a podcast, you're going to be streaming this and you're going to be talking about it and spreading the word and having these people show up to join in on that hype factor, it's lost. It's lost with this style. And, again, what I'm seeing on screen from the games themselves, man, yes, I am excited. I can't wait to see what else is in here and what they're going to show, but I want to see it all put together in one streaming format where I can just see all the footage and then go, that game I want to know more about. That game I want to know more about. I want to hear what the dev was thinking when they did this. Then I can go back and do it, look at it and see what the dev has to say. That's what I was kind of hoping for. If they're going to do this again, to put all the game content up front and then have the develop interviews afterwards, that would have been fine to me. But this format just isn't hitting. It doesn't keep you energized. It doesn't keep you, excited. And maybe that's a personal problem. Maybe that's just a me problem. But that doesn't.
I don't think it is.
That doesn't get my juices flowing to have it broken up this way. So I have to agree 100%.
I mean, look, I've been, the minute I heard about this event, anyone that follows me, anyone that's subbed to the channel, knows that I have been very excited. Not so much for, Game Pass, announcements, secret announcements, day and date stuff. I was excited because I'm an indie fan, indie gamer. If you don't know who that is, man, definitely subscribe to that man's channel. He is the herald of the indie scene, and love not only him as a person, but as someone that represents the indie scene in the most proper way possible, right? I think that I can't wait to see what he has to say, because again, he's the herald of the indie scene. I think everyone is gonna walk away with this kind of holding their shaking their head, and again. I know that people are how dare you grade the thing before the show ends, folks. Listen, I can only go on the 90 so odd minutes. I could say and I'm giving it a 6. For all I know, it could be lower. I want to know where Second Extinction is. I want to know where Scorn is. I want to know where Tunic is and Crossfire X and all of these other big games that we saw in May. Where's Bright Memory Infinite? That was confirmed by the developer that the final game was going to be there. We haven't seen it yet. These are big games.
That's what I meant earlier. We know that there are so many games coming probably relatively soon, because all those games were supposed to come out last year.
Yes.
Yeah. The Ascent was a 2020 title. Scorn was scheduled as a Second Extinction, Bright Memory Infinite. All those games are actually 2020 titles. So we all assume that they are coming out in the next couple of months. So yeah.
Yeah, real quick, Anton Williams up to the additional $2 super chat and says they're showing games again. This was a little bit of an older one. As I think this before we went on, we stopped, on the air. Dovikin in the chat, Dovikin in the chat says after dropping a $5 super chat, sounds like Xbox was really aiming for the big casual Twitch gamers and fans. This wasn't made for the typical Xbox gamer, indies/Twitch/Series S show. I mean, again, what can we say? People in the chat, Infinite says they're back to interviews. Yeah, this is. Let me get Jamie Moran's opinion on this, and you can see that I'm dejected, folks. Like, I'm normally the rah guy, right? Like, and I'm having a hard time even finishing the show not because I don't care. Of course I care. I have to stand by my content, but Man, I'm disappointed. Jamie, where do you fall? Where did Microsoft go wrong as gamers, as diehard gamers? And I think that the 258 people we have here are diehard gamers. The 400, almost 500 people that tuned in for the start of this show are diehard gamers. Everyone on this panel, diehard gamers. Did we over expect, or is this once again a failure on Microsoft's messaging?
I think everyone's at fault and everyone's not at fault at the same time. So I like to pay attention to trends and stuff. And look, I'm a positive guy. I'm not angry about what we've just seen. Look, I am not the biggest fan of how content is presented on Twitch. Like, something doesn't need to be 4 hours long, 5 hours long or something. But like the way new game reveals are presented and new trailers and information and release dates, it doesn't suit the whole Twitch thing. Like, I've seen other game shows. There was game shows in 2020 that did the Twitch thing, and it just doesn't work. And as gamers, we were looking forward to an Xbox event, and I was just looking at Microsoft's social feeds. They weren't actually hyping this up. It was just the ID at Xbox thing, and I think it's because we're waiting for the next Xbox event, and this is an Xbox indie event. But I just think the whole Twitch setting isn't a good thing for game reveals. Like I said, I saw this last year. Drawing this content out for 4 hours long, it doesn't suit it. So I'm not disappointed. The thing is, for me, I like the games I've seen. It could have been better, and I think the problem is Microsoft partnering with Twitch for them to take care of this as well was an issue, because even the concept art for the show had Hades in the background, and everyone was wondering, is Hades going to be included? That art was done by Twitch, so it's we've got to wonder, did they actually plan for this whole thing to be 4 hours long? Did Microsoft know that it was going to be 4 hours long? But they should have told us it was going to be Twitch-style content, because if you think about it, I think a lot of us expected this 20 minutes to an hour thing that we normally see at every game showcase. We didn't get that. And having something like this drawn out 4 hours, it doesn't hit the mark. And, hey, no one's at fault here. Boom, you're doing the best thing you can here. Everyone here is doing the best they can. It's no one's fault. It's just it was just weird pacing for a game reveal / event show thing.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Again, as a host who, painstakingly, which, by the way, again, here's a little bit inside baseball. Last night, I actually wind up getting up in the middle of the night and having a hard time falling asleep because of my excitement for today, because I was doing 2 live streams, but also a little bit of anxiety on how the live stream was going to go, because I've never done one before. And of course, I'm a paraprofessional. I really take this shit serious. This isn't me just, hoping that someone drops some super chat, gets a new couple of channel members, and we're good to go. I actually take this to heart, and I'm disappointed with Xbox. I'm disappointed with what happened. I of course, I'm very thankful that we had almost 500 people for the second round. But when I look back at today, I'm going to look back at Breakfast at Boom being my favorite stream, when it was really supposed to be the other way around. Breakfast at Boom was supposed to be, Breakfast at Boom, get a couple of topics in there, give us our expectations. My expectations have been in my opinion, fallen to the wayside, because what I got was not what I expected. And that's thanks to Microsoft once again not positioning their messaging in a way where it's understood. Jamie's right. This should have been presented as, hey, Twitch fans, you like long content? Well, you're going to love what Xbox is doing, because we got some deep dives. It's going to be a 4-hour stream. And I would have been like, well, 4 hours, I guess I'm going to have to do a 6 or 7 o'clock show and kind of write down what was going on, because you can't do a 4-hour show as a podcaster. We got to go to the bathroom. My back's a disaster already. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, listen, what am I going to say? I think we've said all we can say, folks. We're gonna pack this in. I want to thank everybody. First of all, we got Infinite AA, who's a new channel member. Thank you for that. Now, actually, him and his brother do a podcast. And we're gonna let me see if they're both gaming enthusiasts for sure. We're gonna get them on as brothers. It's gonna be the first time we've ever done that before. where we're going to get a pair of brothers to come on one of the future shows. I think we're going to be looking for, we got to see where our time schedules are, what time zone he's in. Get him and his brother to come on, maybe Primetime Gaming in the next week or so. But I'll reach out to you in a private DM, Infinite AA, and we'll get that. We'll definitely get that done. But I want to thank everybody for being here. I'm looking forward to Monday's show. Monday's Primetime Gaming is going to be some big news. I think we're all going to. I honestly cannot wait to hear what everyone has to say from the panel about today's show. Maybe we'll get some breaking news on Monday about the confirmation of Discord being purchased. We know that we got some breaking news this morning that we talked on Breakfast with Boom about from Jeff Keighley and the Wall Street Journal. And then Tuesday's Xbox Factor podcast, I got some topics that we're going to talk about, but now I've moved those over to Tuesday's show that are still going to be remaining relevant. But let's get to the outros. I'm going to start first with Archimedes. Archimedes, tell everyone about your outstanding YouTube channel and where could people reach out to you and strike up a conversation on social media.
Yeah, first of all, thanks, Boom, for having me on the show. Even though it didn't turn out the way we wanted, I had a blast. It's always fun talking gaming and games with you, and of course the panel. I haven't been on a show in a while with Jamie. It was good to talk to you again, man. It's always a pleasure to you talk Pong, Math. Always fun talking to you guys. So I still had a blast just talking about everything. So thanks for having me. And yeah, if people want to find me, they can basically find me everywhere at Boxenberger, not Box A Bear. But I might change that handle at some point. Yeah, my YouTube channel is slowly growing. And if you're interested in, commentary video game videos, then definitely check that out.
Yeah, and if I may say so, first of all, if you're a fan of someone like, let's say, Colt Eastwood, and really, who's not a fan of Colt, right? Like, he is an industry, he's a community icon for sure. Love what Colt does. Love his honesty, his integrity, and how he does his videos. If you want videos like that kind of style where there's a lot of detail, a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes that you will never know about, you got to check out what Archimedes does.
Yeah, thank you so much for that compliment.
Yeah, no, dude, absolutely, 100%. You put a lot of work in. A lot of people don't understand. For every minute of content that you do a video, it's an hour of production. So if you do 10 minutes of a 10-minute video on YouTube, folks, that's sometimes between 10 and 12 hours of production. And that's a lot of work, folks, especially for something that is a hobby. So definitely get over there and subscribe to Archimedes. Pong Soul, first of all, rookie sensation. Not only are you an amazing talent and that has joined the Xbox Factor podcast on Tuesdays with Zemi Games, but you have something going on that I'd like you to tell people about. Tell everyone about your new venture. And more importantly, brother, where could people reach out and strike up a conversation on social media?
Yeah, thanks so much, Boom. I appreciate the obviously the invite to do this. Again, it was awesome. I've been keeping one eye on the Twitch stream as well, and there is some really, really cool stuff coming out. So I can't wait to go back and catch it all. But definitely exciting day, no matter what, even if the format isn't what we wanted. But again, appreciate the invite, Boom, as always, and Archimedes and Jamie, especially since this is the first time being able to do a show with you. This has been great, man. A longtime fan of yours as well. Yeah, you can find me Pong Soul everywhere. And like Boom said, tomorrow morning we've got big news. If anybody missed it, my brother from another, Steel Rain, and I are starting a new show called Living Split Screen, and that starts at 9 a.m. Central Standard or Central CDT now, but whatever, Central Time, and then 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So we are going to wake you up in the morning. We are doing a positive, overall gaming show celebrating exactly what's going on in this industry as a whole. I know you guys see me on a lot of Xbox centric podcasts, but this one is going to cover gaming. We're not going to shy away from any topics, but we just want to have a good, fun show. And if you guys have never checked out Steel Rain, he's on GRG with K Mega and the crew on Friday nights. The guy is amazing, full of energy, just an awesome dude. So we are going to have a great time tomorrow morning. That's Living Split Screen. You can find us on YouTube at Living Split Screen. Otherwise, Twitter, LVNG Split Screen, all one word with the capital S's there. Otherwise, Xbox Ultimate tonight. Obviously, we're going to talk about what we saw today, and hopefully the show will be over by then, and we'll be able to talk about all the games that were in there. Awesome show, and we just grew immensely. So Xbox Ultimate, Fun Speculation, aka Mav, his wife Caitlin. We've got 3-Bit. We've got Psychonauts. We've got Assassin Lupa's return, and also Lady AF was also just added to the panel. So we got a huge crew. We are going to have a good time. We're just going to have kind of a roundtable discussions. So that's awesome. And then Saturday nights, you can find me on the Shop Podcast with PTK Blam, Centurion, Fuzzy Belvedere, and Stagorilla. And that starts at now 9 Eastern time with the changeover in time. So catch me there. Follow me. I'll follow you back. But we got a lot of good stuff coming, and I'm just excited to keep talking about this.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for being here, brother. And Jamie, the Elusive Gamer, tell everyone about your channel, because you do a lot of positive work for Xbox. You're a positive voice in this community for sure. Tell everyone about where they can reach out, strike up a conversation, and more importantly, subscribe to your YouTube channel.
Hey, man, thanks. It's been good to talk to Pong for the first time, and good to talk to Archimedes again. And yeah, I'm my YouTube. I do positive, not necessarily just positive, but I cover mainly Xbox. And I am fair. If they'll mess up, I'll mention it. But yeah, that is the Elusive Gamer. I put out a video last night talking about the technology in the Xbox Series X and events coming this summer. And when I say events, I mean proper ones. But that went live last night. I have more videos coming out next week. Currently working on a video that's going to require about 20 hours of editing. Wow. So that's a lot of work. But yeah, that's all coming soon on the Elusive Gamer on YouTube. And my Twitter is JamieMoran UK, where it's just gaming stuff.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for being here, Jamie. Definitely love what you're doing. And get over there and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Folks, listen, this has been a great show. Not as great as I expected. I want to thank everybody that tuned in. We had almost 500 people here. And I don't know if this is going to get any views after we go off the air. I don't think it would. I'm going to be honest with you. I'd find a hard time watching it because, man, wow. But listen, thank you so much. If you are new to the channel, and obviously this maybe not be the best first impression, but we do a lot of good work on Double Barrel Gaming, and it's all positive. Even when there's negative, we try to rationally break down what has happened, and I think we did a good job at that. I think that even though we were negative, we broke down why. It wasn't just pile on the rabbit kind of a thing. But folks, listen, have a great weekend. Enjoy gaming, because really at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And thank you so much for tuning into this very special episode of the Xbox Factor podcast. This was, of course, the ID at Xbox indie stream. And we will see you next week when we return on Tuesday. And again, we're going to have a lot of topics to talk about. I think that we're going to get some breaking news on Monday. What it is, I don't know. But I think we're going to see something. And I'll close out the show with something that's important to me. Hopefully one day it'll be important to you. And that's something that my dear old dad taught us when we were kids. I think now more than ever, it's super relevant. Treat others how you want to be treated. Also, it doesn't cost anything to be nice. You live by those rules, and I can guarantee you're going to have an awesome day. So take care, everyone, and have a great weekend.